I am so excited to be creating this video for you and for this event. My name is Melati, I'm 19 years old and I'm currently recording this video from Bali, Indonesia. Today, I'm going to speak to you about the topic of when young people lead the way. What happens, what can be achieved. I'm going to tell you this story about the history of when I became an activist, how I got started and why I got started, and why I believe that you can take action too. All right, let's begin. First, I would like everybody watching this from your screens to take a straight position. Sit upright, put your shoulders back, push them down, and on the count of 3, I would like you to take a deep breath in. Can we do that? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath in and out. We'll do another deep breath in. Ready? Take a deep breath in and out. I haven't done this exercise too many times virtually. It's harder when I don't see you, but I hope you did it because I do this exercise as it proves to be a strong reminder that 70% of our oxygen comes from the ocean. That's the next slide I've got here for you. The ocean. Really think about that. If every second breath comes from the ocean, we should be celebrating the ocean so much more. We should be protecting the ocean so much more. I love breathing. I don't know about you, but I think that we have to know the source of our breath a lot more and appreciate it a lot more. Because currently, we are not doing a good job. Growing up here on the island of Bali in Indonesia, I'm not sure how many of you, have you ever been to Bali or Indonesia? You may know that we are the world's largest archipelago. 17,000 islands with only ocean going through all of our islands. So here, we see how badly we're treating the ocean. Let me show you a beautiful picture of Bali first. Because before we go into the bad things, I also want to recognize that Bali, oftentimes when we think of it, we think of a paradise island. It's easy. We see rice fields, we see mountains, beautiful clean beaches and oceans. But the reality of it here, and growing up here for the last 19 years of my life, I'm bringing a different reality to you. Bali, full of garbage. We don't only see it sometimes, we see it regularly. Right now, November, we are in the middle of the rainy season. But there is another season that comes with it, and that's trash season. Plastic here, once you use it, you throw it away, it ends up everywhere. And so we thought, what can we do about all of this plastic? It was a massive problem, and I don't want to spend too much time on the problem of plastic pollution because I'm sure that I'm speaking to you and you know a lot about it. By 2050, there's more plastic than fish in our oceans, right? So we have to start thinking, what are the solutions? What can we do? And we have to think about those answers today. But all of this has to start with an idea. I cannot stress this enough, how important an idea is. One idea. If you want to create change, you have to create an action plan. And again, even an action plan starts with an idea. How many of you have thought of a really, really great idea? I'm sure many of you have. Maybe you're too shy to share it or to share it with your parents, share it with your communities, but I'm sure many of you have thought of a brilliant idea before. Once you have this idea, and And once you're ready to start talking about it and bringing it out into the world, that's where you start creating change. And it all starts with the bravery of going out with one crazy idea. And that's what me and my sister did at 10 and 12 years old. 10 and 12 years old, okay? We had this big vision and this idea to make our island of Bali plastic bag free. Don't worry, we had no idea what we were doing. We didn't have a business plan. We did not have a strategy. We definitely had no marketing or social media planning. We just had passion to protect our environment home. And sometimes that's enough. That's all you need. And luckily, we were the two of us. This was one of the biggest lessons we learned, that we had to work together to make this big idea turn into a movement. And so, what did we do with our idea? We created Bye-Bye Plastic Bags. It's as simple as that. Our mission is in our name. And that's where people don't get confused. We know what we want and the vision and mission is clear. Bye-Bye Plastic Bags started at home on the couch with an idea, and we went out there creating this movement on the island of Bali. Today, Bye-Bye Plastic Bags is one of the largest youth-led NGOs in the whole country of Indonesia. Finally, after 6 years of campaigning, a lot of hard work, and I'll tell you some of the lessons later in the presentation, but finally, we saw the ban on single-use plastic bags, straws, and styrofoams kick into place right here on our island home last year. And so what we've been doing with bioplastic bags, what we're good at is really implementation, socialization, and education of these regulations. So our team has been on the ground looking at different places where we can help inspire and educate to make sure that the ban comes into place. But not only are we here in Bali, we're actually all around the world as well, with 50 locations in 29 countries, led by young people, just like you and me. Other kids around the world saw what we were doing and said, hey, I want to do the same. And so that's where you can find Bye-Bye Plastic Bags. A fun fact for all of you watching, we actually have a Bye-Bye Plastic Bag seal, and we are so excited to share the information for all of you. You can check out the team and reach out there locally through our website. We hope that you guys reach out and that you join our efforts to say no to single-use plastic in your local area. But what does it come down to? What do young people need in order to lead the way? We focus heavily on education, and I've said this before, because we believe that change happens in the classroom. We need to know what the problem is in order to come up with solutions, in order to implement solutions. So education, find a way how you can spread education, how you can share knowledge with your local community. The next thing, you need to have creativity. As a young change maker, there is so much going on at the same time. And we know we have to make sure that our message stands out, but that it also invites people and inspires people to take action. And that happens through being creative. So here I picked a picture for you of a throwback of one of our earliest events that we did, which was a plastic fashion show, or a trash fashion show. And we had a lot of fun, but we also recruited team members. We also recruited new partners. So again, through creativity, we are able to create a movement. All right. Next up, we have collaboration. Young people all around the world, we know the power of collaboration. And this requires all levels of society, okay? Young people know this because we know we cannot do it alone. And therefore we have to collaborate with the government. The government has to collaborate with companies. Corporations have to collaborate with scientists and entrepreneurs and innovators. It is about collaboration if and when we want to see change happening. Now, I'm here talking and making this virtual presentation for all of you today. But I've been on many stages before, many conferences, and I see the same things. As a young changemaker, I feel the frustration of not seeing change happen fast enough. There are many press conferences, many openings, many cutting the ribbons and regulations announced, but change is not happening fast enough. So, when young people lead the way, I believe we have the power to accelerate this change. And it could not be more important than it is right now. Right now. And you may know some of these young people already. Young people all around the world starting to take action. We have Greta Thunberg from Sweden, and she revolutionized the conversation about climate change. We have Malala, we have Shuteska, we have Boyan Slat. All of these incredible young people all around the world. And a little story personally is that when we went to speak to 150,000 students, 200,000 students along the 7 years of Bye-Bye Plastic Bags, we always got asked the same question. After hearing our story, kids would ask us, how can I do what you do? And we never knew how to answer. We always thought, find your voice, find your passion. But it's a lot more than that. And that's where our new project, Youthtopia, comes in. We're a community-centric platform with learning at its core. We work with frontline young changemakers that you've heard about, young changemakers that you've not heard about. But we build programs for the rising young changemaker. Those of you asking the question, how can I do what you do, will be taught by young changemakers your age. Youthtopia is all about youth empowerment through peer-to-peer education. Please, please, please. Actually, by the time that this video is being shown to you, we'll have finished our Youthtopia Unite event, which is 17 days with 36 young changemakers from 13 countries. But basically, every day we come out with an outcome for the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So make sure you check that out on our website, www.youthtopia.world. But please make sure that you connect and reach out if this is something that you relate with. But I wanted to backpedal it a little bit again and open up the conversation to relearning. Especially with COVID-19 and with the pandemic, we've been given this space to relearn a lot of things, to reevaluate a lot of things. And, it goes deeper into just the way that we learn or the way that we study. It's going deeper into the way that we work, the way that we consume things, the way that we communicate with each other. So I think that this is a moment in time uniquely where we are able to change business as usual. We know that it no longer works for us. And now we're given this opportunity to go back to our purpose. And I say this here because we have to reconnect with meaningful values and meaningful actions that we do. We have to understand the power that we have as individuals, as consumers, as business leaders, as students. There is so much purpose that we need to come back into with our actions on a daily basis. So, my tips and advice to all of the young people who want to start leading the way. Find one thing that you are extremely passionate about, that gets you really excited. Find that one thing, whatever it is. It may not be plastic, it may not even be the environment, but connect with something, feel your passion to it, and then come up with an idea and go for it. Always remember that you need a team and an end goal. This is so important, because I feel and I believe young people can accelerate that change. So we have to start today, and it can start with you. Us kids may only be 25% of the world's population, but we are 100% of the future. And again, that starts right now. I'm here to answer your questions. Question number 1. The environment should be preserved because the environment gives us life. The environment gives us so much and it enables us to live a healthy life. So the importance of that should allow us the answer of protecting the environment. This is a tough question because I really think that everything I have learned up to this point has allowed me to become stronger, has allowed me to really learn certain skills that I otherwise would never have learned. So I do not regret anything at this point. I'm really grateful for everything that I've learned. Ooh, this one is a great one. I think really start with an idea, come up with your end goal. What do you want to see changed? And then build your team. 3 things. Well, hi! I'm really grateful for this opportunity. I hope that to all the adults at least, really give space to empower young people, listen to young people, and invite them to create the decisions you're making on a daily basis. I think that would be my message to all of you, and a shout out to all the young Koreans. I really believe that you can create change. Don't let anybody tell you that you're too young or that you don't understand. Go out there and get your voice heard. Okay, question number 5. Many of the things we need in our lives come out in plastic bags or plastic packaging. If you can't use it, there are some things you can't pack with eco bags or paper bags. So what's the alternatives for them? This is a good question, and I think also where a lot of innovators are, again, on a daily basis coming up and inventing new ways of packaging. But at the same time, I want to take a step back because, for example, coming up here in Indonesia, growing up here in Indonesia, there are so many traditional ways of how we package products before plastic. Banana leaves, woven baskets and woven materials, coconut husks, all of these natural, organic, from the environment, for the environment, material is really what inspires me on the alternative standpoint. But I also think that this is a huge discussion that needs to be had with people who are producing plastic packaging. There needs to be a redesign process, and I think if more budget would be allocated to R&D and implementation, we would be seeing a lot more alternatives coming out a lot sooner. Thank you guys, Korea youth. Good luck, or as I've recently learned, fighting.